welcome to English online class. Dear students, let us revise the 9th poem of the part 2nd, that is Butto by Torudat. I have already explained you the poem, and here the Butto is the story, or it is fable. Okay, and here Torudat, she likes to narrate the story of Ekalavya in the form of a poem. And as you all know, the story Butto, it is related to Mahabharata's character, that is Ekalavya. And as you all know, Mahabharata is an ancient Indian epic where the main story that revolves around two branches of family, that is Pandavas and Kauravas. So the Kurukshetra war, or the battle for the throne of Hastinapura, was held between Kauravas and Pandavas, that you all know. So here we have the character in Mahabharata, that is Ekalavya. And you all know who is Ekalavya. He was the young prince of Nishada. Okay, Ekalavya or Butto. Ekalavya is called as Butto here, and he is the young prince of Nishada. Nishada is the name of the tribe. And here they live in the forest, and he belongs to the hunters tribe. Okay, hunters. And this is the story of Ekalavya. Here Butto, in the story, Butto, he wanted to learn the skill of archery, or the science of archery. He wanted to know all the skills of archery, and he wanted to learn it from the great guru, that is Dronacharya. Okay, he wanted to learn, Ekalavya, he wanted to learn the science of archery from whom? From Dronacharya. Because Dronacharya, he was a master of these arts. Okay, master of archery. Okay, so what happened here? Ekalavya, he goes to he goes to Dronacharya, and he requests Dronacharya to teach him the skills of archery, or the science of archery. But since Ekalavya or Butto, he belonged to the lower caste, or the tribal caste, he was not allowed. Since he belonged to the tribal caste, or to the hunters, he did not have the fame, also he did not have the wealth or richness. So Dronacharya, he denied to teach whom? Young prince, that is Butto. And Dronacharya was especially, he was appointed to teach whom? Pandavas. Okay, to teach Pandavas. And here Dronacharya, he had promised whom? Pandavas or Arjuna. Especially he promised Arjuna that he will train Arjuna in such a way that there should not, no one should be there equal to whom? Arjuna in skill of archery. Nobody must equal to him. Like that he would train Arjuna. This was the promise done by whom? Dronacharya. And since to keep that promise, Dronacharya denied to teach Butto the science of archery. And here, when Butto, he went to Dronacharya to ask him, Dronacharya denied. And what did he do after Dronacharya denied Butto to teach him the archery? Butto, he went to the forest, he came back to the forest, and there he prepared an idol of whom Dronacharya, and he kept in his hut or in the altar. And then what did he do? He started to practice the skills of archery. He started to practice by his own. He started to study by himself. So, after a long time, he became a skilled archer who Ekalavya or Bhutto. Okay. And once he had performed, it is not given here but in the story, it is called Shabdavedi skill in archery. Okay. Somewhere the dog was barking and disturbing his peace. That's why what did he do? Hearing the sound of the dog, he sent an arrow and it hit the mouth of the dog. And being injured by the arrow sent by Bhutto, the dog was running. Okay, and while running, Arjuna and Dronacharya, Dronacharya and Pandava brothers, they were roaming in the forest. At that time, Arjuna and his master Dronacharya, they found the dog. And when Dronacharya saw the dog, he came to know that it is the work of a skilled archer, and badly he wanted to know who was that. So what did they do? They all started to search in the forest that archer. And then as they reached Ekalavya or Bhutto's hut, there they found Bhutto who was practicing in archery. And then he had also seen his idol in front of his house, and it was also worshipped and it was also respected. Then let us read how after meeting Dronacharya and Bhutto, what happened. Let us see. O Master, unto thee I came to learn thy signs. Name or pelf I had not, so was driven with shame. And here I learn all by myself, but still as master thee revere. For who so great in archery? Look, all my inspiration here, and all my knowledge is from thee. If I am master, how thou hast finished thy course? Give me my due. Let all the past be dead and past. Henceforth be ties between us new. All that I have, O master mine, all I shall conquer by my skill. Gladly shall I to thee resign. Let me but know thy gracious will. Is it a promise? Yeah, I swear, so long as I have breath and life, to give thee all you will. Being aware, rash promise ever ends in strife. Thou art my master. Ask, oh ask, from thee my inspiration came. Thou can no set too hard a task, nor aught refuse, I free from blame. If it be so, Arjuna hear. Arjuna and the youth were dumb. For thy sake, loud I ask and clear. Give me, O thy right hand thumb. I promised in my faithfulness, no equal ever shall there be to thee, Arjuna. And I press for this sad recompense for thee. Glanced the sharp knife one moment high, the severed thumb was on the sword. There was no tear in Bhutto's eye. He felt the master with his God. For this, said Dronacharya, fame shall sound thy praise from sea to sea, and men shall ever link thy name with self-help, truth and modesty. So this is the poem written by Torudat, my dear students. Here we can see the dedication, the love and the respect towards the master. Whose respect? Bhutto's as a pupil, as a student, as a disciple, his love, respect and dedication towards his studies and also towards his master. So when Dronacharya met Bhutto, there he came to know about Bhutto and he was surprised to listen that he had learnt all those skills by himself by keeping his idol in front. And after that what happened? "O master, unto thee I came to learn thy science. I am the boy who came to you to learn the science. But what happened? Since name or pelf I did not have, you denied me. And I was driven with shame. I was shameful at that time. And here, after that, I came to my hut and here I started learning by myself. And he showed his idol to him and told that you are my master. See here, this is your idol. This is your statue and you are my master. All that knowledge, all that skills I had learned, that is from you, my dear master. I respect you." Like this he tells to whom? Dronacharya. "But still as master they reverie. I respect you as my master." So who was his master? Dronacharya was his master. Then, "For who so great in archery? Look, all my inspiration here and all my knowledge is from thee." Why Bhutto revered Dronacharya himself as the master? Why he did not treat Kripacharya as his master? Kripacharya, he was also one of the teacher who taught during the earlier time. Before Dronacharya, Kripacharya, he had taught the skills of archery. And for who so great in archery? Why did Bhutto revered or respected or he considered Drona as his master? Because Dronacharya, he was the master of all science. Science in the sense this archery itself. And for who so great in archery? He was great in archery. All the skills he was skilled. Look, all my inspiration here. See, you look here. These are all my inspiration. He shows his idol or statue and shows. See, look, all my inspiration is here. I have got all the inspiration from this idol. This means it is you, he says. And all my knowledge is from thee. Look here, all my inspiration, all my knowledge has come from this. If then after listening this, he came to know about Bhutto, about his skills, and he came to know that Ekalavya or Bhutto will become a great archer in this world. So what did he do? Now his senses started to work and he said, "If I am your master, how thou hast finished thy course? Give me my due. If I am your master, how this course will be finished without paying the fees, without giving the due or without giving the recompense, Guru Dakshine or the fees, whatever you pay for the Guru or the teacher for teaching or for training or for helping in learning." So here he said, "If I am your master, how thou hast finished this course, how this relationship or this course will be finished without paying the due or without paying the fees?" Then Bhutto, he said, he himself, who Dronacharya told Bhutto that, "Let all the past be dead and past, henceforth be ties between us new." Okay, forget whatever happened in the past. That means he had denied him to teach the archery. And it was the dead past. Forget about that. It had happened and we cannot change it. So forget about that. Henceforth, here onwards, let us tie a new relationship. Let us build a new relationship. That is what the master and the pupil relationship, master and pupil relationship. Let us start. All that I have, O master mine, all I shall conquer by my skill. Gladly shall I to thee resign. Let me but know thy gracious will. O my Lord, he was very happy. Ekalavya or Bhutto, he was very happy because the master, he treated him as his pupil and he asked due from him. But Ekalavya, he was so innocent that what due will be asked by Dronacharya, and he was not even had a single clue that the recompense which will be asked by Dronacharya will end his skill of archery. So all that I have, O master mine, whatever I have, that everything is from you, O master mine. You are mine. Whatever is learnt here and everything has come from you. All I shall conquer by my skill. Whatever I have conquered or I have achieved by my skill, gladly shall I to thee resign. I am ready to resign for you, or I am ready to dedicate, or I am ready to give for you. Gladly shall I to thee resign. Let me but know thy gracious will. Whatever I have learned or I have earned from my skills, I am ready to give for you. But I want to know what you wish. What do you want? Whatever I learned, everything is yours. Now tell me what you want. Is it a promise? Who asked? Dronacharya asked. Is it a promise? Ekalavya's answer, yes, I swear. It is my promise. Yes, I swear. So long as I have breath and life to give thee all the will, until I have my breath, until I have my life, I will definitely give whatever you want. And if I am not, I will try to give, or at any cost I will give whatever you want. Then Dronacharya said, be aware, rash promise ever ends in strife. Be aware before you promise, because sometimes these rash promises that will put you in strife, or that will put you in struggle or in dilemma. So be careful. Don't promise during when you are happy or too happy. Think and promise. This is the message by whom? Dronacharya. To give thee all the will. Be aware, rash promise ever ends in strife. Thou art my master. Ask, oh ask, whatever it may be. Do you want my life? I am ready to give my life to. You are my master, and because of you all I have learned. Because of you I am like this. And if I am unable to give whatever you wanted, then what is the meaning to my life? This was the opinion of Bhutto. So, thou art my master. Ask, oh ask, from thee my inspiration came. Thou cannot set too hard a task, nor ought refuse I, free from blame. So you don't worry, I will give, and as a pupil I have to do that, and thou cannot set too hard a task. I believe you don't put a hard task, but whatever hard it will be also, I am ready to give, nor ought refuse I, free from blame. Without blaming you or without complaining, I am ready to give whatever you ask. So this was the promise given by whom? Bhutto. And now Dronacharya is ready to ask Bhutto's recompense. What he asked, let us see in the next session. Here Dronacharya, he asked Bhutto the recompense. But what did he ask? Let us see here. If it be so, Arjuna here. Why Dronacharya is asking Arjuna to hear? Why? Because as I already said, Dronacharya, he promised Arjuna. Who promised Arjuna? Dronacharya. He promised Arjuna. What did he promise? He promised that Arjuna and the youth were dumb. For thy sake I loud ask and clear. Give me, O youth, thy right hand thumb. I promise in my faithfulness, no equal ever shall there be to thee, Arjuna. So what did he promise? Dronacharya promised Arjuna that there will be no equal to Arjuna in archery. Okay, no equal to Arjuna in archery. So here he calls Arjuna and his brothers what? Dumb. They are called as dumb. So he says, Arjuna and the youth were dumb. For thy sake, I ask. Let them listen it clearly. Otherwise, what may happen? They may misunderstand whom? Dronacharya, that without knowing them, he might have taught him the archery. So, to save himself, to prove that he is honest and truthful, he loudly asked, he said, Arjuna and youth were dumb. For thy sake, for their sake, loud I ask, in a loud voice I ask, what? Give me, O youth. Here youth refers to whom? To Bhutto. Give me, O youth, thy right hand thumb. So what did he ask? He asked the right hand thumb. Finished. Then what to do without the right hand thumb? To perform archery, the right hand thumb is very important. Without right hand thumb, one cannot perform what? The archery, or one cannot perform handle the bow. So what happened here? I promised in my faithfulness. I was honest, or in my promise I am faithful. I have not cheated anyone. To prove that I am asking this. I promised in my faithfulness, what? No equal ever shall there be to thee, Arjuna. And I press for this, Yes, I press for this sad recompense. I press in the sense, I confess for this sad recompense. And this recompense, this Guru Dakshine or this fees, it was a sad. Without the will, he was asking that. Without his wish, he was asking that. Why? Because to keep his promise, to prove that he is faithful in his promise. And why Dronacharya asked Bhutto his right hand thumb? Because he had promised Arjuna that there shall no equal ever shall there be to Arjuna, and also that no equal to Arjuna, and to prove that he was faithful in his promise. That's why he asked Bhutto, that is his right hand thumb. And without right hand thumb, one cannot perform or one cannot handle the bow. So he glanced the sharp knife one moment high. The severed thumb was on the sword. Bhutto, he already promised that whatever his master would ask, that he would give. And here he, without thinking, without the second thought, as his master asked his right hand thumb, he just took his knife and he cut his right hand thumb, and that fell on the floor or in front of his foot. There was no tear in Bhutto's eye. There was no single drop of tear in Bhutto's eye. He did not confess, or he did not feel for asking that recompense. And he left the matter with God. he left the matter with the whom? God. Here Bhutto, he felt that it was left to, it was God's wish and he had offered it to God. Without him, he would have not learned anything. So whatever he had given, I have given back to my master or to God. Like this he thought, and he had given his right hand thumb. And for this sad recompense, this was called as sad recompense. Why? Because he was not willing to ask his right hand thumb, but to keep his promise, it was inevitable to him to ask his right hand thumb. So he, after that, Dronacharya, he blessed, he wished wholeheartedly, he blessed whom? Bhutto. There was no tear in Bhutto's eyes. He left the matter with God. For this, what for this? For this in the sense, for this kind of respect, for this kind of dedication, for this kind of honesty of his pupil, he blessed. Said Dronacharya, what did he say? Fame shall sound thy praise from sea to sea, and men shall ever link thy name with self-help, truth and modesty. So what did he bless him? Fame shall sound thy praise from sea to sea. Let your name spread from sea to sea. In the sense, to all over the world, let your fame shall sound, or let your popularity spread, and men shall ever link thy name. Men, in the sense, the universe, the future also, thy link your name with what? With self-help, with self-help, then truth and modesty. With these three qualities, let your name, let the men link your name. So with these, link Bhutto's name. Bhutto's name. Why? Because truth, self-help in the sense Bhutto. Truth in the sense Bhutto. Modesty in the sense Bhutto. Let all these three qualities link with him. Like this, Dronacharya blessed Bhutto, and with this Torudat, she ends her story of Bhutto. So in this poem or in this ballad, dear students, we can see how a dedicated pupil will get success and how he will be blessed, that is given here. And as a pupil, one must always have the respect towards whom? Towards the teacher. Though the teacher, he asked him to give his right hand thumb, as a student he gave. But what is the present situation between the teacher and the student? All that the teacher must do and all that blame the teacher must take. And here the students are spoon-fed and there is no knowledge, and they will fail in their life. They can score, but they will fail in their life, because whatever they had earned, those marks, that was not of theirs. So by this, I would like to conclude this revision. Last poem of the part second, that is CLM by John Masefield. So CLM in the sense Caroline L. Masefield. Caroline L. Masefield is the name of the poet's mother, John Masefield. And the poet, he had lost his mother when he was small, and when his sibling, that is the sixth child of the mother, was born. And John Masefield, his number is fourth number in the siblings, and when his mother gave birth to the sixth child, she died while giving birth to her sixth daughter. Okay, and here John Masefield, he had written this poem after he had grown up, and he had written this poem as a tribute to his mother, and at the same time we can consider this poem as a tribute to all mothers who are suffering for their children. And all the mothers, they suffer and they get they get the rebirth during the time of giving birth to the children. So here, by risking their own life without getting or without expecting anything from the child, the mother takes the risk, or mother risks her own life. Okay, and for this great sacrifice, he is paying the tribute through this poem. So let us read how he offers a tribute and why he is feeling guilty for the behavior of men in the society. Let us see in this poem. So let me read the poem once. In the dark womb where I began, my mother's life made me a man. Through all the months of human birth, her beauty fed my common earth. I cannot see, nor breathe, nor stir, but through the depth of some of her. Down in the darkness of the grave, she cannot see the life she gave. For all her love, she cannot tell whether I use it ill or well, nor knock at dusty doors to find her beauty dusty in the mind. If the grave's gates could be undone, she would not know her little son. I am so grown, if we should meet, she would pass by me in the street, unless my soul's face let her see my sense of what she did for me. What have I done to keep in mind my debt to her and womankind? What woman's happier life repays her for those months of wretched days? For all my mouthless body leached before birth's releasing hell was reached. What have I done or tried or said in thanks to that dear woman dead? Men tramp over women still. Men trample women's rights at will, and man's lust roves the world untamed. O grave, keep shut, lest I be shamed. So dear students, what he says in this poem you have already read, and let us see once again. So here, first he had said about his life's beginning. Where the life begins, everyone's life begins in the womb of the mother, right? And how many months the life takes to grow in mother's womb? 9 months it takes, right? In 9 months, how the life begins or how it grows in the womb, you have an idea. You might have heard, you might have seen the pregnant woman, right? How she suffers throughout her pregnancy. Is she enjoying the pregnancy? Of course she enjoys, but at the same time, than enjoyment, she has to suffer a lot. Her beauty fades, she has to suffer mental and physical tiredness or changes in her body, and that makes her to feel tired or restless, or she could not do any work. So there are so many problems, so many. If we go on describing that, so this class will not be enough. One of the other problem, everyone is not facing the same problem, but most of the women, those who are carrying baby in their womb, they are feeling the same sufferings or the feelings, but there are different too. So they may undergo some of the serious problems too. So BP or sugar or whatever it may be. And those who have some physical or those who have some health issues, they will also suffer during their pregnancy, right? So these are the problems he is referring here, and we have to realize that. He did not say here, but we have to understand that. So in the dark womb, dark in the sense, in a mother's womb, it is, of course, it is dark, right? In the dark womb where I began. So in the dark womb he has begun his life, he is saying. So everyone's life begins in the dark womb. My mother's life made me a man. If there is no mother, then there was no chance of coming to this earth, right? So my mother's life made me a man, whoever it may be. The child would be abandoned, or the child is lost its mother, whatever it may be, but the child is made by, or it is grown in the mother's womb. Through all the months of human birth, her beauty fed my common earth. Through all the months of human birth, in the sense those 9 months, whatever the child takes to grow in the mother's womb, her beauty fed my common earth. So her body, she may look beautiful, but during her pregnancy, definitely she would lost her beauty. She gets weight, then she gets swellings in her face, in her body, legs, etc. So here there is a lot of chance of losing the beauty, but still she doesn't care for that. She cares for the child which is she unseen till she had not seen, and also without expectation or without any recompense or without any expectation, she considers it as her duty, or she keeps herself ready to give birth to her child. I cannot see nor breathe nor stir, but through the death of some of her, without the death, in the sense without the suffering or without giving pain to the mother, the child cannot see the world or the light outside. So to come outside or to come to the world, the child has to give pain to its mother, and that pain easily and happily who takes, the mother takes. So that's why it is said everyone must respect a girl, a mother, a woman. Okay, so the girl, in the sense a woman, she is becoming a girl. Being a girl, she becomes a woman and she becomes mother, right? So it is everyone's duty on this earth to respect a woman or a girl or anyone. Okay, so here, being it may be girl or it may be boy, it is the duty of everyone to respect a woman in this society, because woman is a great goddess to this earth, to everyone. Then he says, down in the darkness of the grave, she cannot see the life she gave. So here what happened, he says, but through the death of some of her, in the sense here, when she gave birth to the 6th child, and that child's name is Nora, and at that time she had lost her life. Okay, while giving birth to the child, she had lost her life. And now where is she? After the death, of course, she was buried, and now she is in the grave. Down in the darkness of the grave, she cannot see the life she gave. For all her love, she cannot tell whether I use it ill or well, nor knock at dusty doors to find her beauty dusty in the mind. Down in the darkness, where? In the grave, she cannot see the life she gave. Whatever life she gave or whatever birth she gave to her children, she could not see. Why? Because she is closed, or she is imprisoned in the grave, because she is dead. She is no more. After the death, whether they remain in grave or their soul goes wherever, we do not know, but there is a belief. And here it is said, she is in the grave, so she could not see the life she gave. For all her love, she cannot tell whether I use it ill or well. So, for all her love, whatever love she had towards the child, or whatever dream she had towards the child, she did not know whether all that has come true, whether I use it ill or well. She could not see whether the child has grown with good values or whether that child is grown bad. No, she could not see. Why? Because she is dead. Nor knock at dusty doors to find her beauty dusty in the mind. So here the poet also, he has no images or no memory of his mother. Why? Because as he grew, since he had lost his mother during when he was young, he could not see his mother, right? So as the days gone or as the days rolled, he also forgot his mother, the memory of his mother, and she is not alive to give her love or to treat or to pamper her children. But here the poet, in the sense the child, also loses his memory about the mother. Her beauty dusty in the mind. Dusty in the sense it was blurred in the mind. If the grave's gates could be undone, she would not know her little son. I am so grown. If we should meet, she would pass by me in the street. Unless my soul's face let her see my sense of what she did for me. So by chance, in future or with God's grace, if the gates of heaven or grave are undone, if the graves are opened and if the dead ones come out, and if the mother comes out and if she pass her son, then definitely she would not be able to recognize her son, because when she had seen, her son was small, and now the years rolled and now the son is grown and he had taken different shape or structure. So here she will not be able to recognize her son unless she would not know her little son. Why? Because I am so grown. If we should meet, one another they meet, she would pass by me in the street as if the stranger. Why? Because she would not be able to recognize her son. Unless my soul's face let her see. Unless the souls they talk. You might have seen in the serials or in the movies, if the mother and child they are abandoned and when they meet each other, they feel something, they feel as if they are close, they feel as if they are relatives. So why it is shown that the heart or the soul that gives signal or that recognizes the relation, right? So like that it is said. So unless my soul's face let her see my sense of what she did for me. So here whatever she did for me, in the sense she had sacrificed her life, right? So that sense, that would, if that is awakened in him, and if the soul is able to recognize, then only they could have some doubt that they are related to each other. Otherwise they may think that they are the strangers. And next, later, how he regrets for his that kind of behavior, let us see in the next session. Dear students, in the last session we have discussed about the poem CLM, and in that we have seen how poet is describing or saying about his mother and loss of his mother, and how he was grown and why he felt ashamed to see his mother. So here, what have I done to keep in mind my debt to her and womankind, and what woman's happier life repays her for those months of wretched days, for all my mouthless body leashed before birth's releasing hell was reached. So here he confesses for himself, because he feels that he was not thankful or he was not grateful to his mother, or he was not grown up according to his mother's wish. Why? Because not only he in the sense he is generalizing, generally we can see all men, okay. He has written about himself, but here not only we have to see the poet, but all men. In the sense, most of the men, they are not giving respect to the women, and they have a lust, okay, a lust of sexuality it may be, or trying to control the women it may be in the families or it may be in the workplace, etc., or harassing them or taking advantage of their helplessness. All the things are happening in this world. Okay, so in all, he is not particularly literally mentioning the people, but saying about himself, he is also representing the other men, those who are not paying respect to the women. What have I done to keep in mind my debt to her and womankind? What did I do? Or did I take at least that sense in the mind as a respect to her womankind or to her? Okay, for a woman or for her womankind, for her sacrifice, for her goodness, or for her helplessness, or for her sensitivity. What did I do? In the sense, what the people are doing in the world. What have I done to keep in mind my debt to her and womankind? As a debt, is it not a debt? Of course, it is a debt on everyone. Okay, our life is a debt to whom, from whom? Mother. Okay, so we have to repay for that. How? Can we give money? No. We have, through the respect, by taking care of them and by responding to them, we have to pay the debt. What woman's happier life repays her for those months of wretched days? And we have not thought for repaying for her womankind and then for her happier days that she had spent, whether we can repay those her happy days she had sacrificed for her children to give birth to her child. She had sacrificed those her precious happy days, and during those days she had suffered, she had experienced the pain, she had easily or happily she had tolerated all the pain, sufferings, etc. And then for her wretched months of wretched days. So some days they are really terrible or horrible. So that kind of days. You might have seen some women, they suffer during their pregnancy, and because of high BP or some other problems, they suffer a lot, and it was a threat to the life also. Right? You might have seen many children, they lost their mother during the time of their birth. So here we can't blame the child also. It is God's wish and it is all the destiny. We can't blame the child because of the child, the mother died. No, the child is innocent, but it is the process in the nature, right? But still he is saying that after grown up, the individual, man or woman, they must have that sense, or they must have that awareness in them that they should not forget the sacrifice of women. And some might have lost their life, but those who are alive, they must be respected, right? And this is what he is trying to tell the reader. And for those months of wretched days, for all my mouthless body leached, those mouthless body leached those wretched days of the women. So why here, what is referred to the mouthless body leached? Here mouthless in the sense, don't think that the child doesn't have a mouth in the womb. It has the mouth, but it is not able to eat through its mouth. But through the umbilical cord, it takes all the nutrients or food, whatever it is required for it. Okay. And here, the child in the womb is compared to what? To the leech. What is compared to leech? Child in the womb. Child in the womb. Have you seen the leech, dear students? What is a leech? Leech, it sucks the blood, right, of any animal or the human being, and you won't be able, you won't come to know if it bites and if it sucks the blood. and after biting, after sucking the blood, it becomes fatty. Okay, and so here the poet is referring, or he is saying that the child in the womb of the mother is like a leech. Why? Because it sucks from its mother. So for all my mouthless body, least before birth releasing, hell was reached, and that labor, that is called as hell. And here for the mother it was a hell, but for the child it is the time to come to this world. So here in this stanza he is saying that for these sacrifices, one is for her womankind, another is for her happier days of life, then for her wretched days, and for giving experience of hell, or sucking from the mother. For all these favors, what did he do? Whether he had kept in mind, or did he try to repay? Whether he was grateful to his mother, whether he thought of to be grateful to his mother. So he was questioning, what have I done or tried or said in thanks to that dear woman dead? So here, what have I done or tried or said? Whether I tried, whether I did anything as a thanks or a gratitude to her, or did I respect? So in what way the woman can be thanked? By protecting her, by saving her, by supporting her, by giving her equal importance in the family, and especially giving respect to the woman. Okay, so in these ways he would have been respected the women. But what the men in the society they are doing? Men tramp over women still. Tramp over in the sense, men, they are trying to defeat the women. They are trying to have control over the women. Wherever you go, in the families, in the workplace, in the society, everywhere women is ill-treated. She is suppressed. But here, nowadays, the women, they are given equal importance. But still, there are people, there are practices, and the whole society is a male-dominated society. So he is saying, men trample women's right at will. So here, trample in the sense what? Ignore the rights of women and treat them as if they are not important. So everywhere, women are treated as not important, unimportant. What can they do? If they are at home, they were not at all given the importance or the respect. Just imagine, even your mothers might be at home, and you might think that, oh, my mother is at home, what she has to do? Just imagine, without her one day, how can you spend? How can you live? Everything will be messed up, right? If mother is there, then everything will be organized. We will be happy, and whatever is to happen, it goes according smoothly. If mother is not there, everything, there will be confusion, there will be mistakes, messing up, everything it happens, right? So mother's role in the house is a very important role, and here mother takes care of all the family members. She cooks, she serves, she takes care of the house, she cleans, she washes, she does the gardening, everything she does. But here, if mother is not there, then what happens? Just imagine. Being so, men, they did not understand the value of the woman, and man's lust over the world untamed. Is it that so much? No, but this man's lust, that beastly sexuality that they practice or that they do on whom? Women, innocent women, right? So here you might have seen in the papers, the small girl is she was ill-treated or she was raped, like this. You might have heard the news, sad news, murder, etc. So here, why the men, they don't understand the value of these great women? Why don't they see that sacrifice their mother, their wives or their sisters in those women? So this is what he wanted to try to convey to the readers, that not only their mothers or wives are theirs, but they have to respect, they have to treat everyone as their sisters and mothers. So here, man's lust roves the world untamed, and O grave, keep shut lest I be shamed. So when such things are happening, what happens? The poet is saying that, oh God, if my mother comes out, then she will be surprised, or she will be shocked to see her child is grown up like this. So let it not open. If it opens, I will be ashamed. I will be ashamed to see her face or to face her in this world, because he has not grown up to her expectation. And one thing also you can see, dear students, here, if there is no mother, of course the child, it gets the wrong path or it gets the wrong turn if there are no one to guide him properly. So dear students, it is not only the child but the whole society will be in a wrong path or in the wrong direction. So as a so everyone in this world, they have to realize the life or the sacrifice of their mother, and they must see their mother's sacrifice in all women. The woman, she will be mother or she will be sister for one or the another, right? Or she will be the daughter to one or the other. So here, why can't we see other women in these respect itself? Why can't we respect? So dear students, it is the great thing and it is a great deed, and one who protects the women's rights and one who provides a care to the woman, he or she will be the great person in this society or in this world. So dear students, let us respect our mother first. Let us respect our mother first. Let us not back answer her. Let us not feel sad because of her. Let us not give any humiliation to her. For example, some mothers are coming to the school and they are regretting that their son or daughter, they are not listening to them. They are back answering. Why are you doing? Why the students have to do? Do you think that they are illiterate? They cannot behave like the modern or like us, the modern generation? Yeah, they may be old, but is that experience whatever they have? It is great. Do we have that? No. And whatever our parents they are saying for us, that is with the experience, and that is not they are saying with any bad intentions. So this we have to understand, and we should not back answer them, or we should not humiliate them at any cost. So this is the message that we are getting from this poem. So with this, let us conclude the revision of this syllabus. Once again, this is the 2 times we are finishing this. So dear students, it is the main thing that you have to read the reader, and you have to frame your own answer, and you have to present it in your own words. This is the main thing. You have to present whatever you have in your mind, whatever knowledge you have in your mind in your own words. It is not fair to by heart and write. So dear students, be honest and give respect to your parents. With this, I would like to conclude my class. So thank you for watching.